Is everyone recorded?
Yep.
Yes.
I know because obviously I'm the one that fucked it up last time.
Clap.
I don't know how that works.
This is definitely the first time this has been recorded.
Yeah. Welcome to the first ever episode of the podcast.
Yeah,
It's like 2 in back brackets, but it's like the one that never got out.
I'm going to publicly apologise to Hayden and Niran for this because we were supposed to be recording naturally, and I didn't hit record, so the whole conversation was canned. There's nothing there. Like, there's just awkward silences the whole time where
the guy
I
that
would have been
looks the most
speaking.
professional here
Is the least.
is the least professional.
Yeah.
What a setup, though. God. Mickey, we need to talk. Okay, you need to hook me up with what you've got in the background there.
Yoga mats, mainly. That's literally
just yoga
got
mats.
myself the TK Maxx, 2 £10 yoga mats, and I cut them up, and then
man.
the cheapest soundproofing I could get on Amazon. So yeah,
That's pretty
fake
cool.
it till you make it. It works pretty well.
Maybe I'll get
Yeah, I
some
like
blue
that.
lights because I don't think I've got enough blue in the background. So.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah, you blend it to the background with your hair.
Well, honestly,
You just
look, I'll just do this, right? And if I just tuck my arms away as
Actually,
well.
you know, my
I've
on
actually
Discord
disappeared.
for me, all of the pixels just blended into one. Like the compression rate was just like, well, it's the same pixel anyway. Well, I was thinking because when eventually we take this podcast to maybe us being sat next to each other when we're allowed outdoors,
yeah.
we can't have a blue sofa. But I don't think that's banned. Otherwise, you'd blend straight in.
I'll blend in, yeah.
just a pair of arms and a face is all it would be.
Very true. Right, yes, welcome everyone at home to the first episode of this podcast. We haven't actually got a name for it because we put it up to you guys, the general public. So it's over on Twitter. There is a poll currently going on. Has it been decided yet, Mickey?
It has been decided. I only put it out till 2 hours because I wanted it to be the first
okay.
topic. So the options we chucked out there were the Voice of Veloce, the Vcast, the Point of View, so POV, the Point of Veloce. Jesus, that took a while. Bleeding Blue. We could only pick 4 options, and then we asked the guys in the comments. So Tom97 said the Speed of Sound, but didn't we do something like that previously?
That's what we had before, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a good name, but you know, it's not there. The Veloce Pit Stop from a guy called Ben Fuller. Not a bad one, to be fair. The word cut out though, tongue twister. Voice of Veloce. So Voice of Veloce again. Arava came up with "Why are you talking so Veloce?" which I liked.
I quite like that one. I like that one from Arif.
I like, but I'll be honest, it's a mouthful. And Evan has been saying like something that's a little bit quicker and easy to get off was good. Veloce Speed, Veloce Form. The V Gang was quite good, but it sounds like a gang of virgins when you say that.
I thought you said like vegan.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
Hayden, you could fit into that.
I'm
Do
close.
a whole
I'm close
podcast.
there. Yeah, well, I mean, we can talk about being vegan.
Well, yeah, it'd be literally just a monologue for you because I've never done it before.
Wait, Hagen, you're vegan?
I'm not vegan. I'm veggie.
Oh, okay, fair. All right, I actually didn't know that about you. There we go.
I did try vegan, but I didn't last very long. I can't live
Why?
without cheese, man.
What's the
cheese
biggest
and milk,
difference?
I can't live without cheese and milk. Come on.
Cereal. I wouldn't be able to have a cereal.
It's not like back earlier in this year when our fridge had, what was it, like oat milk, almond milk, cow milk.
Oh no, yeah. I still have almond milk with porridge because it's better for you. But
Right, okay.
you know, sometimes you want a Nesquik. You know, you want a chocolate milkshake. You know, I can't be going without that. All right, people know me that I love my Nesquik and cheese. You've got to be looking at foods, be like, has it got milk? Has it got cheese? It's too much effort for me. Has it got meat in?
Basically,
No, job done.
Domino's, you were like, I can't be dealing without the cheese.
Yeah, I did actually try a pizza without cheese, and it was just a bit boring. I was like, is this for me at the moment?
Sure.
No.
Definitely.
But for those of you at home who don't know who we are, I'm the content manager for Veloce. Callum, he is one of the editors for Veloce, and Mickey, you've probably seen his face on social media. He's the social media manager, so you've seen him over on Instagram quite a bit. So we are your Veloce guys, aren't we?
There we go.
With the guys.
We've
We're
got
the
a good
men.
blend. We've got like, even from like a perspective of someone who wants to work in esports, like we've got quite a good varied case study here. Like someone who puts out the content, someone who produces the content, and then someone who actually is the content. Like there's a good kind of.
I
full
thought you
rounder.
meant blend as in like accents.
Well, there's that as well.
You've got someone who's extremely northern, someone from the Midlands, and someone that couldn't be more southern.
Yeah, so if you can't understand us, then we're sorry, I suppose.
We should be able to understand at least a third of this podcast.
Yeah. You could, that's why, so that everyone can understand at least one person from the podcast. Then you just put in the comments who you need subtitles for, and we can send them over to you.
Definitely. But on that, we kind of skipped over this. So the name of the podcast, we ended up 42% of the people voting, and there was 350 votes. So it's a significant amount of people all voted for the Voice of Veloce. So I kind of feel like we have to give the people what they want.
Yeah, I like it. Plus, this episode, it is the Voice of Veloce. We are the Voice of Veloce, aren't we?
Yeah, and then moving forward, whoever we get on, it is the Voice of Veloce. So
yeah. So I think that's a good choice. So well done, everyone at home. Give yourself a round of applause. You did well. Is this what we should do from now on? Just let the public choose our content and also our names because we're so lazy.
No, 100%. Because then at least we know there's like 350 people who are going to be like, I made that show. That's my name. I'm going to listen.
This is the annoying thing, is that me and Mickey were having a call. Literally, what was it, like 2.5 hours ago? Like, we need to name this thing. Like, we're about to shoot it and we don't know what the name is. But if we reflect on the other series that we've got, like two of our biggest series, not the GP and Squad Sprint, two names that were literally made within the space of a day, like completely off the cuff. I mean, what Squad Sprint was something that you and Evan came together with, Hayden?
Yeah, that was just because it was sprint races, 5 laps. We were just like Squad Sprint, and we're like, yeah, that works. Throw it out there. Done.
And not the GP was born within the 3-day manic period of us giving birth to the whole series.
Not the GP was the case of we were sat around the table with so much to do. It was like, right, let's just get the name out of the way with first because we've got so much work to do. And everyone was like, it isn't the GP, so not the GP. Done. Let's go. Next. It's stuck.
Yeah, just like stressing over a name was the last thing that we needed to do in that 3-day period. Which, I mean, everyone knows us. I think a lot of people know us now for the Not the GP series. And I mean, we're going to touch on it throughout this podcast. But how was those 3 days for everyone else? Because I know I can say
I was going to say
the 3 most stressful days of my entire life.
That's alright for me. I was on holiday, so
I think we should start with you, Callum. You had the brunt of it, man. You literally took the full force. You were the tank. So come on, what was it like for you?
To be honest, it was just like a slow build-up of like trying to. We didn't round up the talent. That's more for the likes of Jamie. But for us to get an entire streaming setup done, we've never before this. I mean, last year I think we did a watch along for the German Grand Prix. I think it was. But other than that, we've not dipped our feet into live events at all. We love editing. I love editing. I'm an editor, and I like being able to edit out all the problems so it makes it look good. But the problem is when you do a live event, you ain't got that luxury. It was a matter of telling Hayden what to say, especially when the entire setup breaks. Like 15 minutes into when we went live, trying to get Matt Gallagher in the same loop was hilarious because there was one of me, and it was literally the most stressful time of my life. You saw me afterwards, Hayden. How frazzled did I look?
We both just sort of like, we were like, we need a beer, we need to calm down, we need to chill out, and you were just like laying back. And I had a little bit more energy because I always do. I'm always full of energy. But I was going through all the views and I was just telling Cal, he's just like, that's really good. That's amazing. Like, he was just dead. Like, all the energy had just been drained out of him completely.
We were, number 2 or 3 in gaming trending?
I think we were 2 on that one and we were 1 on Not the Bar GP. But, like, you had incredible. The 12 hours of Sebring the day before, so you were up till 1 the day before doing that all day,
That could not have been timed worse. So, if you didn't know already, Hayden and the team, a few guys and a few guests, recently did the 24 hours of the Nürburgring. But that wasn't the first endurance race that we did. Let's not go into that race because
we'll mention it later.
We'll mention it later, but if you like a broken Audi, stay around till then. But yeah, back then, that was when we were first getting into the R race, and this was back when the company was in a very different place to where it is now. Like, we were relatively kind of relaxed in a sense because we were like, well, we just need to do content online. The lockdown's about to happen. Bit of coronavirus going on. Not a problem. And then within all that, I was putting all this practice in, and then suddenly we're doing this live event with Lando Norris, and we're streaming to here, there, and everywhere, and we end up getting 400,000 viewers on the video, for example.
It was mad.
It just changed just like that, and that's the crazy thing that's happened with the coronavirus. As bad as it's been for the rest of the world with the pandemic, it's somehow been the rub of the green or rub of the blue for us.
You got to make the best out of a bad situation, haven't we? And I think we've done a pretty good job of not only making the best out of a bad situation for us, obviously growing loads, but also for everyone at home to be able to put on a show that people can still enjoy and they can see their favourites getting into live streaming. And like, look at Charlotte Claire's now into live streaming. Lando Norris has taken it even further. So.
And that was the point of it, wasn't it, though? We said we need to give a replacement for what they haven't got, and everyone was asking for it on Twitter. So it was a huge case of giving the people what they want. And just to kind of reiterate what we got, the actual stats, it was number 1 trending in Germany. So the Germans loved it on Twitter. It was number 3. It was number 3 trending in the UK on Twitter. Obviously, we had YouTubers, F1 drivers, all just come out of nowhere, literally come out of the woodwork. And then the live viewership, we peaked at 180,000 live viewership. The second week for Not the Bar went all the way up to 225 live viewers. That's insane. Tfue doesn't even get that.
We did something that was crazy, and you know what I've just realised, Mickey? That was your first ever F1 race. It was online.
yeah, it was.
But I think it even shocked us, didn't it? Because I mean, even when we looked at the viewers, not just the live, but like the viewers afterwards, it was like 300 something thousand. Me and Cal were just like, what? Like we have never had a video, even from our own channels before. We have never had a video that's got over like 100,000 views in a day. Over 50,000 views in a day. I think
our top video at that time, which is still ticking along quite nicely at the moment, is doing still quite well, is our 5 top tips for traction control and lightning start.
But those didn't happen overnight. Those happened over a week,
Yeah.
I think the most we've had in a day is like 5,000 or something like that before. So to be like 300 was just like, what is going on? And that was when we were just like, okay, we are onto something incredible right now.
From your perspective as well, Hayden, because I remember because we did touch on it in the last podcast, but there's no evidence of that. Because this is the first one. Talk us through like your perspective, because you were away skiing through the whole build up and were snowboarding, should I say? So,
I was having a great time falling off non-stop snowboarding, like honestly breaking every bone in my body. In the end, it got better, but I think it was Friday or Thursday you sort of decided, but it was mainly topic in our work group chat by the Friday, and I think I was coming back on the Saturday. So pretty much Friday after that last lesson that I had, I was in that mindset where I was like, don't really want to do much anymore. I was very sore. I think I may have done like one more run or something like that, but then that was sort of it. And then after I was just constantly on my phone, and it feels bad like being on your phone on holiday, but I knew how big this was going to be and how much I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't want to just like rock up on Saturday, not be a part of it. I wanted to be hosting and being on the commentary side because that's what I want to do. I want to be a presenter. I want to host things.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I need to try and get myself involved as much as I possibly can to get that opportunity, instead of just rock up and be like, okay, give it to me. I had to feel like I had to earn it. So I was just on my phone like Friday and Saturday, even though there wasn't much that I could do because I wasn't there. I was like, anything that I can do, just let me know. Like I could try my best.
Yeah.
Hey Mickey, he was the last one to sneak in a holiday before all of the madness. None of us have had a holiday at all this year, really, apart from maybe Jamie and Charlie. Yeah. Everyone else in the office has not managed to have a holiday so far. So once we are allowed to go outside, we will do. But you snuck that one in right at the last minute.
I can't say I really enjoyed the holiday for what it was for snowboarding,
really?
But the fact that I got away, I enjoyed it. I mean, everything else about it, being with family and the views that you got up there were amazing.
Yeah.
But snowboarding, maybe I'll try again with mates, because being with your family who's all do skiing, they're kind of always talking about it. Whereas, like, if I've fallen over loads in a lesson, maybe I just want to go chill out with my mates and get drunk and just have a laugh.
I mean, that's probably the biggest element of skiing is just being in the mountains, and all you can do on the evening is get pissed, really. So, it makes a huge difference, I think, when you ski with your mates. We should do a Veloce ski trip. That'd be sick.
Let's do it. I'll be up for that.
Future content that we'll slap that straight in.
Yeah, invite anyone who wants to come. We'll put on like a Veloce travel tour skiing. Me and one of my pals were thinking about that.
Skiing edition. If you can get down the hill the quickest, you win.
Yeah, that would be sick. So just before we move away from the Not the GP, we can edit this out if we don't think it's appropriate, but I read back the office chat. I'm not going to read people's names out of when it all went wrong and it is like hilarious. Like, obviously, what happened for you guys listening, to give you context, we were like 5 minutes into the stream and it started lagging and you just couldn't hear anything, you couldn't see anything. And if you think about that from the perspective of the owners of the company and the guys who've worked on this project, is to how much panic sets in. If you've ever ran a stream and you get lag while you're live, you just don't know what to do. It's like, oh shit, how do you fix that? So like, huge kudos to these guys who kept their cool throughout this and didn't make it clear to you. But this is what was going on behind the scenes. It was go, fuck, why so much lag? 3 frames per second. We're working on it. Guys, this is bad. How do we fix it? This is a shit show. The PC is struggling. We can't host it like this. I thought we did a test. It was like, it was running fine. Can we pause this and then do it after qualifying and work it out ASAP? The lag is bad. Fuck. Unnecessary. We need to say in the stream that we know there's lag and we're sorting it. It just goes on for ages and ages.
I remember looking down, my phone was right there, and I was like, I don't need this right now, so I just turned my phone over whilst I was trying to diagnose what was going wrong with that computer.
We literally had to bodge the setup halfway through, because I remember we like turned around a computer at some point. It was just like, right, tell Matt to take over, and then we'll sort you out. So then I was just like, I'll hand it over to Matt, and then you were just like, right, come here, let's change all this, and everything was getting moved. And then I moved position. God. By the end of it, I was actually sat there facing that way, and then by the end of it, I was actually sat like over there facing.
You were sat where I was supposed to be sat.
Yeah.
I've now actually remembered. To be honest, I've quickly put that to one side because again, most stressful day of my life. I remember it was because we were trying to stream. It was the final link was to try and get Matt Gallagher in, and we were streaming it, and because we were streaming already twice off one PC, also hosting the lobby, also doing like all the other stream bits as well. The computer was just like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I've decided that we're not going to put this stream on. So yeah, that was probably the most bodge job entertaining thing I've ever done, trying to move you into a position where I was supposed to be sat, my knees by the end of that race, so I was squatting down next to Hayden because I couldn't see the screen, because I'd set it up so I could see the screen and also he could. So I couldn't see it, so my knees, I think I needed like kneecap replacements by the end of that stream, because I was squatting down next to you whilst I tried to show you what was going on in the race.
That's awesome, man. I love it.
That's not our setup anymore, though. We're a lot more professional now. We're working with another company, and the technical prowess that we was lacking on that day, we no longer have that problem.
But it didn't show, though. That was the most important thing. And we had 3 days to set it up. You guys had 3 days to set it up. Like, it was insane. And then when it did all settle and everything was working fine, we got a comment in the group saying, Christ almighty, I was packing up my kitchen there. Thank God for that. Which was hilarious.
I could just imagine. Fair play to Hayden, to be honest. Hayden did a mega job to say that I think I've got this, you'll see this if you're watching the video podcast. I think I've still got, oh my God, I have as well. I've still got some of the cue cards.
Oh, yes. These were horrible. Yes. These were I couldn't read them. They were so small. I was there just like, what does that say? And I'm like trying to listen to Matt at the same time. I'm like, what are you on about?
You wrote them in back.
Please apologise.
Please apologise. Everything is good now. And then there's like 3 or 4 pages of those within my notes, but
yeah, you and I were just holding things up, and I was just like, I'm just gonna have to guess with these.
That is amazing. I didn't know that. That is so good.
Bit of memorabilia that was from that weekend.
Callum, you need to frame that and put it in the office on the wall.
Yeah, once we get back into the office, we'll make a little panic section where we'll put all of the notes on the wall. But that was the funny thing. That was how I was communicating. But that just goes to show, like, we were so quick to get onto that bandwagon that we had to get so much done in 3 days. Now, obviously, it's I dare I say our bread and butter when it comes to how we go through all these. And we know that a lot of people come to us to watch these sort of events, and we're very much appreciative of it. And the crazy thing now is back when we did that first event, there was only one other event that weekend, and that was the race.
Yeah.
And it was only us two that had gone straight in and go, Australian Grand Prix cancelled, we're going to do something instead.
Yeah.
And now, there's how many races a week?
Too many.
Plus, I don't know how many the race had, how many people running, but like we had people working in the background, but on the actual day we had 3 people in this room, I think. Oh, no, 2 people in this room, and then we had Isaac sort of supporting where we needed him. And then we had a couple of people doing graphics here and there.
No, I think...
And that was it. And it was just like...
If you think about it, that's good kudos to the race as well, though, because they will have been in a similar capacity to us. So for those guys to put on the race as well, like, fair play to them. That's a good effort. Because we know how difficult it was. You know, we lived it and we were there. And they had just as much time scale as us to prepare it. So fair play. I also believe, like, it was the post from Jev that kind of sparked it, wasn't it? Because that's where it came from. Because me and you, Callum, we were in the office and literally on my phone got tagged by Jev, and I was like, he's just suggested this, and then put it in the group, and the guys were like, we're already on it, we're going for it.
Hayden, you don't know what that last week was like in the office, don't you? Because you weren't
No,
there,
not a clue.
This was back when the coronavirus it suddenly became quite serious. Everyone was like, Jesus Christ, this is no pushover of a virus. Like, this is deadly. And that was when, like, that even that week we'd already decided. It's another topic we want to talk about today. Is we decided that we were going to be working from home from the next week. And this was the hilarious thing, is the one time that we needed everyone in the office, no one was in the office. It was the one time where we needed everyone to be across the room being like, oh, can you do this for me? Or what about this? What about this? We was all communicating through one group chat.
Madness.
The worst timing for us, but we managed to deal with it, as you saw, Hayden, when you was probably having a nice pint, and then you saw the group chat go from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, how is everyone's working from home experience?
Mine?
How's fine. Look at the setup.
I know.
I'm sound.
He's just chilling, man.
Before I started working for Veloce, I was working for myself. So I did set up an office. This is my garage. This is all it is. I had an office set up for a while, to be fair. I used to stream from this room, so it is perfect. The comms, the mic, it's all good. And I've used to sitting here and spending hours here on end anyway. So genuinely, my life hasn't really changed. The only difference is I'm just spending a lot more time here because, we're working around the clock, because there's nothing else to do as well. So, yeah. What about you guys?
Well, I've got mental health.
I think it's all right. I've got a mannequin friend. I've dyed my hair blue. I think I'm pretty stable, to be honest.
At least you haven't shaved it.
It's all right. I mean, I've been living at the office because all the equipment's here, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do from home. It would just become more of an office job, and as much as that is part of my job, I do like the other part, which is creating content and being there and trying to provide entertainment for fans. So I wouldn't be able to do that half of it at home because my PC's not big enough, plus I don't really have the room, or this place just has so much equipment to be able to use. So to be able to just stay at the office, it's all right. But I'm getting to that stage now where I'm thinking I'd like it to go back to normal quite
soon. You need humans interaction.
Yes, I haven't seen a person in 6 weeks. I haven't seen a person since Cal left in 6 weeks.
Jeez,
I've seen people come in and pick up stuff here and there, but it's just like, yep, thanks, bye. That's it.
You're not supposed, because it's like there's still that weird air of like you don't. I walked through the shops just earlier, and you feel yourself holding your breath almost when you're walking past another person, because it's drilled into you that anyone can give you this virus. It's just so annoying. It sucks.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I've not even. I mean, to be fair, because I moved back home with my family. So initially, I was with Hayden when we was a 2-man team battling it out.
We were living together.
Events.
We were not. You weren't with me. We were living together.
Yeah. Okay, clarify that one.
Unless you want to be. I mean,
we'll talk about that one afterwards. That's for the After Dark podcast. No, yeah, because I was in the office and I was like, I think I just need to be in my own bed and kind of reset a little. Because even then, it had been a while.
Basically, you heard me shouting quite a lot on Twitch. You were like, I can't deal with this anymore.
As well. There's a video that I might put on my Twitter of basically me sat at my desk looking so angry. Because Hayden did this thing where he'd stream all day. And I'm not even joking when I say all day. You'd be like, oh, it's about, we've got up, 10 o'clock, bit of breakfast. By 12 o'clock, you're in that seat and you haven't left that seat until 12 o'clock at midnight.
You're screaming the whole time.
So initially, I'd already moved my Mac completely to the top floor, AirPods in, door shut, gaffer taped up probably, just to try and cancel out the noise. But yeah, I've now that we've gone fully, that was back when we were still doing a little bit from the office when it comes to broadcasting.
Yeah.
But within that and within the lockdown, we did everything remote. It's gone to show that you can do a lot of things from remote. And I mean, even with the way that we've operated as a company, like oddly, I've never felt that there's been so much communication between us guys.
I agree.
Which has been crazy.
Yeah,
to say we're usually in the same room.
Yeah, I think it's weird, not just for us. Like, as esports teams, we can do this quite easily, but there's going to be so many companies that haven't even considered the fact that you can do remote working. And they're going to be like, hang on a minute, we don't even need a premises anymore because everyone can do it. We're just going to hire a meeting room once a month for people to meet up. It is mad that this working from home is going to change, but I don't like the idea of a world where everybody just lives at home and I don't know. It's strange.
No.
Yeah, I feel like here the times that I've worked best at this place is when I've come in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So when I've left home, I left at like 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, get the train up here. Even though that's really early, by the time I get here, I feel like I'm full of energy.
Yeah.
I mean, Cal knows I take like 3 hours to wake up, but then after that, I'm just like, I just have too much energy and I'm annoying. But those 3 hours are enjoyable for everyone
deal
else
with you with loads of energy.
because I have no energy. So it's just like, okay, so this is his quiet time, and then it's just like bam in your face. So
Yeah.
for me, like I just prefer maybe just coming into an office, going outside first. So sometimes I just have to start my day, but going outside and then coming back into the office to make it still feel like I'm going to work.
Yeah. When we get back to it, we need to take some of that afternoon energy and just go out and do some IRL content in the streets, for sure.
Yes.
I've got some good ideas. Did you ever see the Limbo prank years ago that the Sidemen did? So what
no,
I think so. I think I did, yeah.
What they would do is to just say, is to get someone on the street and be like, right, if you can do a limbo blindfold, you get 20 quid or something like that. And everyone's got like, yeah, of course. Just put the blindfold on, they'll stick the limbo stick out, and the dude would start walking. You do that weird walk, obviously, where you're going under. He would just take the stick away, and they'd all dash off and video from a distance of some guy like in the street. And get everyone's reactions around. They'd be looking at it like, what is that person doing? What we would do is we'd get a helmet and block out the inside of the helmet as if you were playing Marco Polo. Say to people, right, it's pin the tail on the donkey, but it's pin the steering wheel on the canvas of where the thing is. So we'd have this canvas with stake up and just say, put the helmet on, and then you've got to just roughly stick the wheel in that slot. We remove we take everything away
brilliant.
in video from a distance of people with a helmet just in the middle of London pretending to drive. Everyone will be like, what's wrong with that person? So I think we should give that a shot when we get back. My only concern now is we've just put that out on a podcast and someone else might get there quicker than us.
We've got to be quick on that one. You're not going to find many people out and about to do that at the moment.
Yeah.
But Hayden, you'll have to do it yourself. You do it with Dave.
Yeah.
Put it on
Dave.
But
Good
no,
old Dave.
I'm looking forward to getting back to being as like a team where we have the ability to just do anything, because the corona is so restricting.
Yeah. I miss working from an office now. There's a difference between, like, in some cases as an editor, like if you're any sort of creative person where you're just working on your own, it's just so nice just to like zone in and be like, right, I'm gonna get this work done. And I mean, to be fair, that's for any sort of work, but especially like editing, when you've got to kind of stay in the vibe of what you're editing, kind of keep concentrated. And if you get distracted, then it's quite hard to then build that momentum back up again. So oddly, I've been a little bit more productive in some aspects. But then there's a flip side of having people around you to motivate you all the time. Me just literally being able to go like this and go like, Hayden, what about this? Tell me about this. What do you want with this? You can question them straight away rather than trying to call each other online and the call's never working and bits and bobs like that.
What he's trying to say is he misses me, I think that's what we can gather from it. He's missed living with me.
You got me.
He wants to come back as soon as possible.
I think.
Well, I'm going to come back and then you're going to go.
Yeah, true. I'm moving out of it. I'm going back home for a bit.
What are you thinking though, Hayden? Because like seriously, if we've got another few months of this, what like?
Well, I can't go anywhere now. I'm stuck here. But when this is all over, I'm going to move back home and commute to work for a couple of months.
Okay, fair.
Just because I need to get out of this office because it is a bit depressing.
How long have you been
It's
there
cool,
now?
but actually lived here.
Yeah. Well, no, like since the lockdown.
It's like, well, I got back. When was it? Start of March? No, was it like after 2 weeks of March? 14th of March.
14th of March.
On the 14th of March, yeah. Yeah, so I've been here over a month.
Jesus.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
Surprised the walls haven't got like holes in them yet.
But
no, to be fair, there is someone's been drilling through the wall down there, on the other side, and now it's that they're like drilled through, but not far enough, but like just missed out coming through the wall, and now it's like a little nipple on the wall.
Oh, well, that's
It's
great.
really weird.
That is weird.
So anyone trying to drill into your room?
I mean, I don't blame them, to be honest.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people trying to get it.
I was gonna say before we start talking about nipples that even though you have been locked in, from a Twitch perspective, you've gone from 700 followers to 23k. Like,
Yeah, that's incredible.
madness in that space. of time.
To be honest, Twitch, I've loved Twitch. Before doing it, I did a bit with for Veloce. So throat's going dry. Literally, me and Mickey did it at the same time as well. I did a bit in the evenings, but it was after like long days of work, and I was saying to Callum, like, I just wasn't feeling it. Like, I wasn't feeling it. But I think it was the content that I was doing.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it wasn't like, I do enjoy playing F1. Like, as much as I'm not the best at it, I do enjoy playing it and just having a laugh and seeing the crazy stuff that happens with people online. And like, we've just recently started doing The Sims, and that's always good fun because you can just be creative and you can have lots of energy about it.
Yeah.
But like, I've enjoyed it so much to the point that now I've even made my own one, so that when I'm not doing it for Veloce in my spare times in the evening, I'm going to be doing my own one. Hayden got us on Twitch, by the way, if you want to follow.
Get that plug in there.
Shameless.
But yeah, I mean, it's been mental, and for all of us as well, being involved with the Twitch side, and now our schedule's getting bigger and better. You're taking over on Thursdays, doing your own special little quiz. So I mean, we're gonna have a lot of fun stuff on there.
The quiz has taken a hit this week, unfortunately. I'm still gonna do it, but this Thursday I'm gonna do something slightly different to the Fortnite quiz. Even though I did put a paid post out. Sorry, Rupert and the guys. It only cost us £30, but it was a good experiment. Basically, Core, LOL, Boom, and Save It, for those of you who don't know, are our Fortnite professionals. They unfortunately have got to go to do a Cash Cup tournament that got launched yesterday. So they only got announced yesterday after we'd already planned the whole thing. And they can't miss it. One of them, bless them, said, "I will miss it for this quiz." And I was like, mate, it's worth like £3,000 if you win. You go to play the tournament. Like, you have to do it.
Do your job.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm going to do this Thursday is I'm going to play Warzone, but I have like a little tick off on the top of the stream. I'm not allowed to stop streaming until we get a win, which might never happen. I've only got 3 wins on Warzone ever, so I'm confident. Until I kill someone with a helicopter, like chop them up, you can kill them, it's pretty cool, and then race from one side of the map to the other on a quad without picking up a gun, without dying. So I've got to complete those 3 challenges before I can stop streaming on Thursday.
So basically, Mickey's never stopping streaming.
Yeah, basically I'll be streaming for a while.
It's going to be a 24/7 stream with just Mickey.
Whoever's
Against
on
the Friday. Yeah, I'm on it free on Friday, so it looks like I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I'll hand over to you at 3, and then I'll still stay in the background and keep recording if I don't do it. But I will.
I'll just have to jump on Warzone with you in my stream.
There we go. We'll do that. My brother's a pretty good Warzone player, so I'm going to recruit him for a little bit of it. I have to get a win. But yeah, that's my plan.
To.
And then we'll do the
Fortnite
Fortnite
James
quiz
yesterday, and I don't think he got one.
No, he was playing solo as well. That's even harder.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. What I loved about watching James is I'm used to seeing James like sweat like F1 and Project Cars, but it looks so wrong seeing, especially when he's sat in his rig with just a controller by his lap, and he's going, and you know when you watch James Baldwin stream and you can hear his breathing through his nose.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I keep
or every now and again he just goes.
Honestly, do you know, whenever I'm editing Squad Sprint, I'll listen to his whole audio just because he can just hear him breathing.
You need to edit that
in. Like Darth
Soothing
Vader or
you.
something. But yeah, just seeing. I mean, that's the beauty of our Twitch, is to try and push some of the personalities across. Obviously Hayden, whatever personality he does have. Not too much there, I don't think.
Hayden, put your Sims character next to you in the edit now, because you look so similar to him. It's ridiculous.
I actually got it pretty spot on, to be honest. I did a mega job with those Sims characters.
You did.
I'll put them all up for the video, guys. And for you guys listening, go check out our Twitch for that. But I think I got people spot on, and I did some F1 drivers today. And Lewis Hamilton, honestly, that one is spot on.
That is sick.
I did Lewis Hamilton very well.
I want to know the dialogue. I want to know what's the narrative of this Sims for. Because now you've created the characters, okay? They're 2 different houses, am I right? The Veloce house and the F1 driver house with Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah.
You know, saving everything. Whatever. Insert a pun. Failed. What's the plan? What's the narrative going to be?
So I didn't really figure out a proper narrative yet, but I was thinking of what we do is on Twitch we open it up to subscribers only. So feel free to subscribe to on Twitch to be involved in this. But what we do is we pick. They suggest options and stuff that happens in the story. So for example, maybe you have 3 good that are just like go out clubbing or something like that. Or one of them goes and gets a girlfriend, and then we have 1 bad option, and we do a spin wheel.
Yes.
And we put all those suggestions in, and we do the spin wheel, and whichever one it lands on has to happen in that stream of The Sims.
I love that. Did you ever read the Goosebumps books as a
kid? Like 1 or 2.
So good. You would read through it. Obviously, the scary stories. Goosebumps, terrible.
Were they the ones that you select?
Go on.
You'd like go to a certain page?
Yeah, you'd be like, right,
get
to the end of the tunnel. Do you want to turn left or turn right? Turn left to go to if you want to turn left, go to page 397. So you'd be like, 397. There's a massive fucking monster down there. No, go back. I changed your mind. I'm going to go that page. Goosebumps was like the best book going. That's the only thing I'd pick when I had to read at school. I like that. That's a good narrative. Getting the guys in the chat to pick what actually happens. That's genius.
I've got that, or we just have one house. We invite all the F1 drivers into the Veloce house. We get rid of all the doors. And we just keep people locked in. And we just keep adding characters. Like, we could have so many people in that house. We lock it. No one can get out. And we just sort of see what happens.
Yeah. But I like that.
You mean bastard.
Not really, because they've still got food, They just it's like lockdown. It's quarantine. They're all quarantined together.
I like that.
I watched a YouTube video on someone who did this. He put all of his Sims, 100 Sims in isolation, so they're all living in one room, studio apartments with kitchens and stuff like that. And it was actually quite interesting to see what each person did. He didn't have real life characters though, which I think was what's going to make ours a little bit better. He had like Florida Man, who ended up burning down his own kitchen whilst cooking a grilled cheese. But
that'd probably be Lando Norris, to be honest.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what we can do. But I loved how Courtois wanted to be in it as well.
Mate, he joined the stream. He joined the stream, checked out his character. Courtois was one I had a little bit of difficulty getting there, but he was actually quite happy with it in the end.
Sweet.
Like Lando Norris, I think I got spot on. Courtois, he said he was happy with it, and a lot of people as well said, it's not too bad. So I did him all right. Lewis Hamilton was spot on. I made George Russell. I made him a Jack Russell.
Nice.
So
Callum's got a friend.
George Russell.
I've got a friend.
Callum's got a friend. George Russell, the Jack Russell.
Does everyone know what we're on about there? Because otherwise that sounds a bit weird.
Basically, when I made the Veloce house.
They have to watch.
Okay, all right.
Tell them.
Go watch the Twitch. You can find out what's happened to Callum.
He was done dirty though.
Reveal why the backstory, because there's a nickname behind it and everything.
Yeah,
that
do that. Yeah, go on.
Announced.
Do you can go through that, I reckon.
There's the nickname of the Basset Hound, which somehow I've ended up being so. With the 3 co-founders, Jamie, Jack, and Rupert, are some of the 3 best characters I think I've ever met, and some of the things that come out of their mouths is absolutely hilarious. And I think it was Jack that gave me this.
Jack just called you the Basset Hound for no reason.
I think it was because he it was to link me to how I'm like when I've had a few drinks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And being a bit rowdy, bit of a menace. And somehow, I think this was after... Was it after the karting event?
It was after the karting event, yeah.
Yeah, when I got intoxicated,
you
to
got
say
wankered.
the least. I had a few beveroonies at multiple venues, and it was just curtains the following day. I mean, Hayden and I turned in just a bit late, looking like I wanted to cry. And then somehow, a couple of days, I think it was a week later, Jack gave me that nickname, and it somehow stuck. It was one of those nicknames where you go, is it actually going to stick, or is it just going to be one of those 1 week jokes? And here we are, a good 5 months after the event.
Well, Mickey doesn't have a nickname yet, so Mickey, when we get back, we're waiting for the nickname. My one is "How you doing?" because basically, when I answered the door, Rupert got a table delivered here.
Right.
So I answered the door, and he was just like, "What's your name to me?" And I went, "It's Hayden." But I mumbled it. I was like, "Hayden." And he was like, "I'm good, thank you. What's your name again?" He thought I said, "How are you doing?" because I mumbled. So now my nickname is "How you doing?"
How
like
you
that.
doing?
I keep hearing different things. And I have no idea what these guys are
Hayden comes on a call now, and it's just, it's how you doing?
How you doing? Isaac's is a thank you, Isaac. I think that's just sort of stuck. Evans is Evan Downey Jr. His name is Evan Downey, or Ewan.
Yep.
Rupert's is the Cookie Monster, because it's Rupert Svensson Cook. Charlie's is Chucky. Chucky Cheese, Chucky. What's Jamie's, like Jim Bob?
Jim Bob, J-Mac.
J-Mac.
And then what's Jack's?
What's Jack's?
Just Jack.
What is Jack's?
Clarky Boy, innit?
Yeah,
So it's
but
Clarky
like,
Boy,
we call
but-
everyone boy. If
Yeah.
there's one thing that comes from the office is, hello boy, are you right? Mega boy, well done boy.
I've picked
Mega
that
boy.
up. Yeah, I've started saying that in my text to my mates. I'm like,
And Mega.
I've got-
Mega.
I've got
Domed,
this.
Domed's my personal favourite. I've taken Domed and I've spread it out far and wide. Domed
Yeah,
was
well,
an
that's
office
almost
thing.
like a yeah, that's probably one of the. I think a lot of stuff actually originates in the office and then ends up in the content.
Yeah,
Like, Domehead was a slow one, but I think it was throughout fan lobby.
Cam's making
when we did
Domehead as
that.
an emote on Twitch. That's going to be one of our emotes.
We need to. It's got to be. Like I say it so much, and it's become staple for Veloce.
We had it as a command for the Nürburgring race.
Did you?
Yeah, we did.
Nice.
I had a lot of fun mapping that one.
What did you get? What happened if you hit it?
Oh, it was because the amount of people that were asking how many times had Hayden and the team crashed.
Okay.
And Hayden was sick and tired of constantly saying, "Oh well, Ryan had a couple of crashes," and I think we added it up and it was 14.
14.
So I was like, you know what, sod this. I'm going to call them all Domeds because they
Yeah.
are. Every single one of them crashed. So that was how that command came
Fair
to
play.
came to fruition.
I like that.
To be fair, I think it was more than that because I was looking back through the footage because I fell asleep during Isaac's and Tom's stint. So I wanted to see because I wanted to see whether Tom crashed at all, but just let it just sort of slide under the radar and no one noticed because no one was around. But nah, to be fair, he didn't crash on his second stint.
Nice.
But Isaac definitely had a few spins and he's supposed to be the top dog when it comes to iRacing in that team. So he had a few incidents. And there's just one point where he's just like, yep, nothing to see here. And he just carries on like nothing's happened.
That's brilliant. I love that.
What-
I mean, Isaac did carry you lot. Let's be real here.
Yeah, in the first stint, but he had an incident of his own in the first. He bashed the car just a little bit. It was only a little scrape. And then Ryan had a scrape that when he came back on the track may have caused Ben's team to avoid us and then they crashed out. So that was unfortunate for them. And then Tom jumped in the car. He had like a spin and a crash. So he added to the damage. Then, Ryan, actually I spoke about Ryan. Who was the next? Alex Gillen. Alex Gillen jumped in. He had a spin and a crash, but it wasn't too heavy. He actually had a good stint. I jumped in the car. Everyone thought I was going to do atrociously. I was just going to bin it straight away. I did 2 full hours of that 8-minute long track without any incidents. And in my head, I'm like, mate, I'm doing amazing. This is incredible. Like, how has this happened? I am going to be the only one out of us lot. Literally the weakest one out of us lot. I'm going to be the one who doesn't crash it. And then literally on my first lap of the third stint, I go round a corner, I dip the wheel on the grass by a millimetre, like a couple of centimetres, and it just spins away from me. And I'm just like, you can see in my face, I am pressing that brake as hard as I possibly can, just praying it's going to stop. There's so much runoff area on the grass then. I just think, okay, this is all right. And then you see my face like, oh my God, that wall is coming very quickly. Bang, into the wall. Biggest damage we've had. And we were stuck there in the pit lane for like 30 minutes. It was horrible.
I was going to say, how does that work on? Because I'm very new to iRacing. So if you get damage, obviously, depending on how critical the damage is, you are stuck in the pits for even longer. So,
Yeah, you gotta. The bigger the damage, you've got to stay. I was surprised Ryan's one wasn't worse. He rolled the car in his second stint. He'd had like 5 barrel rolls, and he had 11 minutes worth of damage. And I'm just like,
easy
I
job.
just hit the wall pretty hard on the side. Your car went upside down 5 times. How is the? What?
You know the edit that we did with the Elon Musk car.
Yeah.
If you have not seen that, hopefully we'll try and
insert
link in the
now.
description as well.
3, 2, 1.
That's unreal. Do you see them both light up?
So that was featured in Jimmy Broadbent's. He was watching it, and apparently that car got an hour and a half worth of repairs. Bearing in mind, what was our maximum amount of repair time?
Our maximum was like half an hour that I did.
It would have took you
Like
an hour and a
extra
half to
hour.
find the car after that. It went the distance. That's not real.
That car was not coming back. I mean, my all-time favourite bit was, so I think it was the Saturday morning. We was very quickly scrambling to get a a livery done for the car, because iRacing is so brilliant that you can get all your sponsors. You can make a really, really good livery. And I was just coordinating with our graphic designer, Evan, and being like, we need to get it done. And he managed to pull it out of the bag really well. And I was like, here you go, Hayden, just don't crash it. I want it to make, because it looked brilliant. I was like, Evan's done such a good job with this livery.
Hey, it was still there by the end of it. It was just a little bit beaten up.
Wait, didn't we not finish?
Yeah, all right. Let's.
By the end.
So this was literally heartbreaking, and it was all of our own fault. Don't think you can take it down to one person. The people were trying to blame each other in the team. Like, Hayden, you smashed the car the most. I was just like, yeah, I had the biggest crash, but I hit it once. I think it was from everyone, because everyone had a crash, adding to the damage. So by the end of it, we were 38 minutes, I think, away from the end after a 24-hour race around the worst track, the most grueling track on the calendar on any racetrack made. And we get to the last 38 minutes and just poof, the engine blows up. Like, out of nowhere, and it's like an hour worth of repairs, and that's it. That's us out. We're done. So we can't even make it to the finish.
I love how the clip, people were like, what just happened? What was that?
Yeah, and no, the best part of the clip is I'm going through the chat and someone replies something, and I'm just like, yeah, well, we're still alive at least. Yeah. And then 10 seconds later, bam, car's blown up. You're not alive anymore.
I remember. I think Mickey, I went on a call with you very briefly.
Yeah.
I went on a call. We were just talking, being professional, doing work stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And I was watching. I woken up and I was like, I actually watched a decent amount of your 24-hour stream, partly because I've got the bug myself. Like, I really wanted to take part.
Plus, you really wanted to see me crash it, and unfortunately, you didn't see me
crash.
crash.
I stayed up till very late, and I only watched the first half an hour of Hayden's stint. I should have stayed up for another hour and a half, and then I would have saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went on a call with Mickey, just sorting some social stuff out, all the bits and bobs. I come back and they're in the pits. I'm like, what on earth has happened? And you're like, yeah, so might blow up our engine.
You must have literally left just before we crashed, because I was actually replying to your comment as it happened, because you were asking us whether we had enough fuel for the white flag lap.
Were. Yeah.
So you must have literally left just before that happened, and then bam, we were out. So that sums up our 24-hour Nürburgring. Hopefully, Le Mans can go
our
better.
Endurance, we've not finished either endurance race. Bit of a disclaimer though, when you've got the likes of myself and Hayden in the car.
I think I did a good job, for around Nürburgring.
But generally, as a disclaimer, we're not entering it because obviously we've got the reputation of being an esports team. But we're not far away from entering a Veloce Domeheads team. Just so you can see which team's taking it seriously.
It is coming soon.
It will do. Probably for Le Mans, which will be in June.
I think.
Yeah,
we got Indy 500 where everyone's going to be doing that individually.
If you need any extras and you want someone who's never raced before, I'm in.
Enjoy the Domeheads team, alright? I was thinking of putting a team of Nir and Arav as well.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
A team, they're done. They will not make it past the first hour.
Every squad sprint episode he spins.
Oh, let's not talk about squad sprint. It's hilarious. I mean,
well, we got the finale. We got the finale this weekend.
It's a little bit sad.
I'm sad. I've loved that series, man.
I know you got very invested in it. It's been my baby for the first 3 months of the year, 4 months, and count all the prep for that as well. It's coming to an end this weekend. Ironically, we are, I believe we've already announced not the GP series for this weekend and the track. So we've got 2 Germany races within the space of 2 days for us. Which is brilliant. But we also managed to get a certain John Eric Verne in for the finale of Squad Sprint.
We thought it's only fitting we get the boss in.
Yeah, we got the boss in. I think we'll just title it Veloce Boss Destroys Field or something like that. But yeah, he's starting on pole at Hockenheim, which we're very excited for. How he ends, you can find out on how he experienced the race.
It's a good ending. The series comes to a good end, I think, in my opinion.
It
comes to a good end.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of battling, and we've already asked this question, but we may as well open it up here as well. We can potentially have a conversation about this, but we need to find a way to slow these esport drivers down, because the point of Squad Sprint is not to it's just to have the best racing and the most amount of entertainment. We're all about the content. We just want loads of safety cars and loads of crashes and the field always bunched up together. But somehow you look at the way that Danny and James and Hypers, the way they come through the field, Simon too as well, we need to find. We've got quite a while until the next season, but we need to think of some rules. So if you've got any suggestions, let us know. Tweet us or in the comments down below. It'd be very much appreciated because we're starting to put together some ideas.
Before you get cracking though, I just have to say we cannot put drivers in different cars and put them onto realistic. So we can't put Danny in a Williams and put the cars on realistic because he has a contract with Alfa Romeo Racing F1 Esports team. Therefore, he has to be in the Alfa Romeo. Same with other esports drivers; they have to be in the same car that they drive in F1 Esports. So we can't do that. That idea gets suggested all the time, and the amount of times I have to reply to comments to be like, "We can't do that, unfortunately."
I bet you feel
but
like you've got a broken record.
Yeah, I do. But there have been some great suggestions. So any other ones that you can throw in there, then we are entirely open to, because we want to make the racing as close as possible. We want to make it exciting and not just be like, it's always going to be an esports driver that wins. We want, like, Ben should have chances to win. Same as Tom, same as Alex Gillen. Those guys are quick, not as quick as the esports drivers, but they give them battles every now and again.
Yeah.
So for them to get race wins would be brilliant.
We need a handicap system, like in golf. Like, yeah, just something to bring them down. So it's, I mean, even with hashtag not the Oz GP, Danny was away. Like, clear winner. So,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, also, it just shows how good he is.
Driver.
Yeah, but yeah, when we're trying to get a full spread,
content-wise.
Yeah.
You want to see a tense battle for the lead, and some races we don't see that. There's tense battles throughout the field. That's what is great about squad sprint, because some people take longer than others to get into their right position. But everyone always wants that battle for the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just want to beat Raggy.
I just want to beat Raggy. Hey, he is my only rival. I've said this so many times, and that's what makes this series difficult for myself, is because you've got 6 esports drivers. That's 6 of the top spots taken. Or maybe it's even 7. Then you have Gillen, Ben, Tom. That's another 3. That takes you down to 1 last spot remaining for points. That me, Tebow, Storm, Raggy, and who else are fighting? Ryan are fighting over that 1 point. So that's like 4 of us. You're just at the back of that. You're in 14th. You could have had the best race of your life battling with those, and it's just like, well, I just got 14th to show for it. That's what makes it so difficult.
That must be what it's like though, when like the Williams cars, for example, at the back have the best race of their life and they come 13th.
Exactly. So that's just what makes it so difficult. So maybe I just need to practice more for next year.
I think you do. Well, I mean, your driving style's changed. I mean, I'll say that you have got quicker, but that's because you've been playing F1 non-stop. You're Mr. Open Lobbies now. Yeah,
still not as much as those guys, so I've still got a bit of a way to go.
You'll get there. The amount of practice you're doing, 100% you'll catch up. Well,
you'll be on the esports grid next year.
Yeah.
just don't do a Le Mans and then we'll be fine.
Hey, that's my redemption, all right? iRacing Le Mans is going to be my redemption for the other Le Mans.
Clip it, guys. I can't wait to just pair this clip with him bailing out.
Oh, man.
We can make it like a really dramatic thing, because obviously if you don't know, if you didn't see what happened at Autosport, well, if you don't want to be spoiled, go back and watch the video, but it's been a while now. Hayden decided to, how do we put this nicely, enter a gravel trap quite early on into his stint.
Right. Come on. You're not telling the story as it is, to be honest. I was drafted into a game I've never played before. Literally a day before this event was supposed to happen. Well, actually, no, I had played a little bit. I was practicing for the Pro-Am, but I hadn't played with this car, so I had no experience the day before. And we were missing a team member because one of us lost their passport on the way to the airport.
I saw the vlog of this, actually. It's quite a good video.
Yeah. So that's what we're referencing. And I literally got thrown in the deep end. And in all fairness, I'm happy with where I finished, because I was in the lead. I did have 9 seconds, but it was a 3-minute lap. And these guys were just so rapid on this game. They caught up very quickly. But once those 5 people got past me, I was in P6 and I was lapping the same pace as people behind. Quicker than people even behind that. So I was like, do you know what? To turn this around in a day, I was pretty happy with that.
It's not bad.
The other guys are just not human, to be honest. That's all I'm saying. They're not human.
I've never seen you so nervous before.
I was honestly
3-4 years.
I got out of the car afterwards, and even though we went into it, and it was just like, we're not going to win. Don't worry about it too much. I'm still a competitive person.
Yeah.
And I did feel like I wanted to cry after that, because it was just like, we went from a winning position and now we're down in 6th. And even though James and Virus tried to put on like the best face, just like, no, it's fine, it doesn't matter. I was just kind of like, I kind of ruined it for you.
But that's not your fault. The guy
No, I
can play
know.
the sport.
I'm still competitive. I want to do the best.
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, boys. Should we wrap it up for episode 1?
Yeah.
Didn't you say you had something you wanted to surprise us with?
Me?
Yeah, you said you had some
No,
a topic.
the topic was the conversation of the
okay.
Yeah, the thing.
All right. Then I guess let's wrap it up.
Anticlimax. Yeah, guys, if you are listening still, thank you very much. If you're listening on iTunes, please make sure you do review. Smash us a 5-star, only if you thought it was 5-star, and put a little comment. And what we'll do is we'll go through and read the comments back in our next podcast as well. If you've got any suggestions, no matter where you're watching, I imagine there's some sort of comment section below. Jump in and give us some topics to talk about in the next episode, and we'll do that.
Let us know who you like on next from Veloce. If there's any Veloce members you'd like us to chat to, let us know, and we can drag them in, because we can get rid of Callum.
Yeah, I'm disposable. I'll be editing it instead.
His setup looks awful, it's just his bed in the background. So anyway, thank you all for watching and listening. We'll see you again next time. Goodbye.
See you later.